comes to the issues of trade, it's one of the key aspects when it comes to G20, as the discussions really are intensifying here in Sun City. A lot of issues being explored by the member states, especially in a very, very quite volatile geopolitical space. But African Continental Free Trade Area, one of the key AU's projects, and joining us now is Mr. Khumalo here from this particular instrument. So say once again, thank you so much for your time. Let's look at your involvement here for the AFCFTA. Why is it so key to be part and parcel of these talks?
Thank you very much, Kaya, and we appreciate the opportunity. As you will be aware, South Africa would have put the agenda of its presidency in the context of how we could be able to support the continent in general, beyond its participation as a G20 member, but largely to ensure that we could be able to support economic growth of the African continent, and therefore the issue of the AFCFTA being, as you said, one of the key flagship programs of the African Union. It becomes important for us as an international organization or invited international organization to participate and contribute to the ongoing discussions for the various reasons, some of which you have outlined. One, it's important that the world appreciates that there's a need for Africa to develop, and that it should be able to utilize this opportunity to therefore contribute to the global economy in a manner that is inclusive, in a manner that allows us to be able to create jobs, as we have seen in some of the priority areas in some task forces that are talking about inclusive economic growth, fighting unemployment, reducing inequality, which are the three triple challenges that are actually facing not just South Africa, but the continent at large. And it therefore is the message that we're saying. AFCFTA is there with 49 state parties that have now ratified the AFCFTA agreement, with 54 countries that have signed the agreement. We believe that we present an opportunity to be able to contribute to that, drive investments, deepen trade, regional economic integration in the manner that is responsive to the challenges that are facing the continent. Yes.
And obviously it's a very tough space because the shrinking resources globally, and also just an environment that is not so conducive. You know, unlike back in the days, there's quite a lot of geo-economic interest, a lot of factors really at play. So structures like yours, how are you navigating this complex environment?
I think we are presenting a demonstration of how we should be able to commit to multilateralism. As I was saying, we have got 49 state parties that believe that a rule-based trading system is important for any country's growth, and therefore the FCFTA is able to do that. And we believe that through our contribution, like we have done before, is that we want to see a world that commits to multilateralism, a world that commits to WTO rules, so that we can be able to be predictable as a global economy, allow companies to be able to invest in a system that allows them, or that protects their investments in the global economy. And I think we are able to present that as a case to be looked into. Yeah.
Before I let you go, sir, we've seen your Secretary General, Mr. Wamkele Mene, crisscrossing the continent, having so many sessions with the heads of states and prime ministers and many other leaders. How's the implementation phase of the African Continental Free Trade Area, especially because you still do have conflicts, you still do have instability, you have infrastructure backlog as well in some instances, so quite a lot of challenges.
There are many, but obviously, as you would probably know, he used his first term to mainly finalize the outstanding negotiations on a number of protocols, whether it's investment, intellectual property rights, women and youth in trade, digital trade, which are key to ensure that we could be able to create an inclusive economy, not only in the continent, because we are looking at how the continent's framework of the AFCFTA can be used to attract investments in the continent, and we are now in the mode of implementation. We have got countries that are actually trading under the AFCFTA. You have 22 countries that have already gazetted their provisional schedule of tariff concessions, that have indicated that they are ready to trade. They have committed to the rules. As I said, we have 49 state parties that are there, and we're engaging with them to ensure that they will be able to take advantage of this single market of $3.2 trillion, a market of 1.4 billion people, and which we believe presents economies of scale that are enough to be able to justify investments that we are looking for, so that we can be able to create jobs, fight inequality in the continent. And that's the case that we're actually presenting to the G20 members, because we believe they have a role to play. Africa can be able to utilize this opportunity to be able to build a competitive economy that do not only serve its people from intra-Africa trade perspective, but can also be a competitive global player in a manner that allows it to export goods and services into the global economy.
All right, so thank you so much indeed for your time. And of course, quite plenty of voices here. It's all about really making sure that G20 remains a very effective vehicle in terms of driving that transformation. Khayelihle Khumalo, SABC News, Sun City, Northwest.